That sounds like a beluga whale. Whoa!
Okay, now you're reacting to the brother and sister duo Akmu, and after 2 years of hiatus with Chanhyuk serving time in the military, the brother-sister duo are back. First, I'll be reacting to their B-side called Freedom. Freedom is about wanting to live life with no rules or consequences, like walking around with no clothes on as if you were a little kid. Akmu say that they want to breathe, sing, and dance freedom, including dreaming freedom, sleeping freedom, donating free, voting freedom, and expressing freedom. The song is composed by and written by Chanhyuk. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
1, 2, 7.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Okay, weird way to open a song.
Yes, I am so
I know
down.
that you already primed me for that, but weird way to open a song.
Man, her voice is really pretty.
Yeah.
I think the harmony very faintly above what she's singing.
It's the same. I think it was the same plagal cadence as this one before.
Whoa! Wow, they're doing the Billie Eilish thing where they never project below like a sort of whispering ASMR volume. But they just put it really close to the mic. And the production here supports that. It's very well balanced.
That bass. Also, their blend is so good. Their blend is so good. I just love the timbre of both of their voices together.
I do like the song though. It's a nice piece.
It just feels like a hug. It's just, I love plagal. I love going on the circle of fifths in the brighter direction. It just feels so nice.
It almost sounds like Christian rock too.
There we go.
I don't know.
Like the guitar.
It's too light sounding in the orchestration to sound like Christian rock. If it was Christian rock, there'd be some like heavy duty bass drum action going on right now.
Ooh, a little bit of rock going in here. Alright.
Oh yeah, some distorted guitar in the back, yeah.
I think this is really good.
Their songwriting, their composition is so good. Like, it's the magic, it's the Akmu magic that I can't pinpoint, where I can just enjoy listening to it without having to think this is boring or this is repetitive.
I find a lot of the words like very like kind of like short little like it's almost like you're just lightly kind of brushing off them.
It's so cute. I can't like, this is what I get, like it's just so cuddly, you know? Almost to the point where it's like disgusting, it's so cuddly. It's just like, ah, free, free.
I love distorted guitar.
Coldplay
Simple
called.
best.
They're mad that Akmu perfected what they've been trying to do for the past 20 years.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Oh, yes. Love that ending.
I love endings like that.
Always
Is that
down
an
for
end?
a ending.
Okay.
I think just their voice complements the guitar really well, or vice versa. So
Both guitars, because it starts off with an acoustic, and by the time it ends, it's full electronic. You know.
no, it's just
But it's not like a linear path to that. There's a lot of variation in between that gets us to that point, which I really enjoy.
yeah, it's just like they can stretch their boundaries of their vocal timbre or musical decisions, but then even the guitar, these two, when they move in expanding an idea or expanding their palette, it just complements each other regardless.
And there are only 2 chord progressions in the piece. And both of them are pretty common, like very typical chord progressions. But the way they assemble them together, and even the way they choose to sing over some of it and not sing over some of it, it feels so alive. You know, it feels like there's a lot of soul in it. And again, I'm always blown away by what Akmu can do with something so simple. It shows that, I think, when you spend effort into doing something and when you truly believe in the art that you create, I think people can sense it. There's something mystical and invisible and something that can't be pinpointed with musical theory or whatever that kind of gets infused inside it.
It had like that, you know, like constant sort of like driving feeling with the, you know, 8th notes in the guitar, and then they like did the halftime in the chorus or whatever, and then each time they did the chorus they like added a layer, you know, terracing sort of. So that's really cool. It's well constructed, and I want to know more about this freedom concept and the sort of how deep they want to take that, because they could have just mentioned like running free, doing what you want to do, but they mentioned like, yeah, there shouldn't be money, and so like, you know, that's sort of an intense stance to take. So I want to know more about that.
So like, I like the song overall. It's cute. Like, it definitely has a very carefree, happy-go-lucky kind of Harry vibe to it, you know, which is obviously what they intended. It just, a lot of the patches and sounds that they use in orchestration things, like the way they're arpeggiating chords and like some of the instrumentation, you just hear that a lot in commercials or with certain other styles of music, which is why it's like, it draws that, you know, so strongly.
It was very light and fluffy and like, kind of like, I don't want to say like skippy, but it was like, da 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 da. Like, that wasn't the right rhythm, but like, it felt like I wasn't like sinking into any one particular note. Like, I was just kind of like, jumping from one note to the next, and I kind of like that. Like, if I was gonna do that with my bow, it would literally be like a very like kind of brush stroke, kind of like.
But then like the vocals were so gentle and so cute and so soft, and
They had, like,
they
a
evoked that
direct
because
echo
it was
above them
already
as they were
softer,
moving.
like just in volume. But then also, like you said, how it was kind of short. Everything was not, I don't say staccato, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. Nothing had a lot of weight to it. It was very lofty in like the length at which they sang all their vowels and consonants, and it
was like
seemed to zoom by.
acrobatic almost. It was like you could like flip to any note that you wanted to because you're just like light and you can just jump.
I liked it. We especially liked the bass line and the beat it had to it.
Yes.
It was very much like a slow jam, and I liked it.
And like we said, it was unique because Akmu usually focuses heavily on the voice, but the
There
voice was
there
more of just a
instrumentals
contributing
happening.
line
Yeah.
to the overarching song, which I thought was really good, and their voices fit really well with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Cool. Well, you'll be comparing Freedom to the 7th track on the Sailing album called Whale. In this song, Akmu sing about their admiration for whales and hope that they'll forever be able to leisurely swim in the ocean as they always have before.
Oh gosh.
They're really out here being like
yeah,
anarchist environmentalists.
I was about.
The song is composed and written by Chanhyuk.
All right. 3, 2, 1, bang.
It's a whale. It's my imitation of a whale.
Oh, there's no video with this one. We're just gonna listen. Like it already. Yes.
Ooh, ooh, the bass. Ooh.
Okay.
Honestly, save the whales.
Ooh, a little jazz organ in there. Is that what I heard there on that downbeat?
Oh, so cute. Their voices are so nice.
And they fit so well together.
Oh, they do.
Oh, dude. What? I like it.
There's your whistling.
There's my whistling. I love whistling. I think I do the first one again. I'll do it again. Nope.
That sounds like a beluga whale. Whoa.
This would make it on the playlist.
Oh my god, do not bring Akmu into this, Hugo.
But it would, but it's a song about whales. But it's so like. To all the people who out there who do know, they know. It's the mammalian solidarity. It's a real thing.
See, this tune has something very memorable about it, which automatically puts that on another level than a lot of other songs that we've been listening to.
It's such a nice balance
I
between
love
their
the
voices.
bass on the bottom just doing and then you have like the little yeah.
That's a really sick riff.
It's almost like imitating whale song a little bit.
Oh,
You know? Like I feel like
Oh,
the
definitely.
ascending line like that, or the
Yeah.
like, ooh, like I feel like that's similar-ish.
No, like that was like a whale noise. You can do, they call it a whale sound on a bass. If you take the bottom tailpiece and you put your bow on it and you pull, you get this nice little wah. I should play it for you guys sometime. We call it whale noises.
Yeah.
I like how much instrumental they include at the end.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was really good. That was really easy to listen to.
Yeah, that was sick. That was good.
Yeah. It's not, sometimes it's confrontational, you know? Sometimes you have to, sometimes it feels like you're trying to listen to something. When, especially when you're reacting, because you are trying to listen to something. But it's, I always love it more when it's easy to listen to. And there are even things that I like, and I find that it's sometimes not always easy to listen to. But one thing with Akmu is that it's good to analyze, but it's also just easy on the ears, which I really appreciate.
That it is really cool, especially because it's like they're trading. It's like just straight on a bass, and then back to.
And they got those nice little like slaps.
Yeah.
Where like it's not like
Man.
it's not like in your face, but just like
Maybe.
a nice little hit.
I was really impressed by how balanced their sound was.
They like layered things like very gradually, very nicely. Cause like it was like you start with like just guitar voices, and then the refrain like you added the bass, and then like you added the strings later, like pits first, and then the bowing came up, and then the strings got more present. Like it was.
Yeah,
it
there was
all
like a
very
big
gradual.
violin hit or a string, an orchestral hit that was really cool. And then like they did a,
Yeah, but
they walked up to it and the strings did it, and it was really really cool.
I just kept listening to her and just how she reacts to all these just things that are just popping here and there. It's just like percussion that's just da-da, dun, whoop, boom, just all these up and down motifs that just color or just complement their singing, and it's marvelous to see how they react to it, because there's an aspect of music where you do react to the surroundings that you're working with, because you are painting on silence as a musician. So seeing them go for it was nice.
I felt like by the time the song ended, they said everything they wanted to say regarding the whale and to the whale, without needing to repeat too much or add too much or make it too wordy. And then when I think about the spacing of when they do the whale sounds and when they do the instrumentals, it just comes together very nicely. And I feel like maybe it's something that when you get a whole team of composers and lyricists that you can't really create. I mean, I've heard songs written by teams of people that do sound cohesive, but I think something that makes Akmu so special is their partnership and the way they write their own music. And it really feels like the lyrics and the music sort of meet at that same point.
I would definitely love driving home to this song. Like that is
true.
a
That's a
great
good road trip
driving
sound.
song.
I will say that it can be on a road trip playlist. However,
Hardcore.
it's not going on a playlist.
So,
It can be on both.
which one do you prefer more, Freedom or Whale? And
Whale.
why?
Oh yeah. Freedom was going for example, like a wall of sound effect,
where there are different voices that are contributing to this overall
The overall sound, and this
sound,
is like
where this had more moments, as Gwen said during it. Like there are moments in this that are like, you know, you hear a guitar riff, or the bass goes all the way up the octave and then slides down.
Ooh, the whistling, like
exactly. Like there are moments in this that make it really cool, and for me at least, those complexities in songs make them last longer for me wanting to listen to them.
Right.
Like, because I want to be able to find all those moments, and then I start looking forward to those moments.
Right.
And that makes it like really interesting and a really cool song to listen to. Also, whales. Like, come on.
I loved after the chorus little hook that they had with the with their whistling, the way they made it like the reverb and they slid it, made it kind of sound like whale songs.
Maybe that's what it was.
So that was pretty dope. But I thought that was really cool. It was just like really, really clever. It was really nice ear candy. And it was like really cool melody.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely evoked water and the color blue and the color green. But I'm not quite sure why it did. I think maybe the reverb is part of it. I think the bass being kind of reverbed too is part of it.
Yeah. This also coming from a guy wearing multiple shades of blue in his outfit, so.
Yeah, and I play jazz, so everything's kind of blue.
Hey!
Oh, there we go. Well done.
Oh my freaking god.
No, no, no,